I know, I'm late for this review, but in my defense, I wanted to do a Halloween special, and I think this movie counts as a horror movie. Let's skip the part where I talk about the reviews and the rating of this movie. I think we all know at this point that this movie was poorly received. So let's start with the movie, shall we? The movie starts with the classic princess movie opening scene where there's a magical book that is flipping open. You know, like Shrek. In this story, we understand that the king and the queen and Snow White are ruling a kingdom that is very utopian and everyone is good with each other, everyone is perfect. Suddenly, the mom dies. Classic Disney movie archetype. So the king remarries a new woman, which is the evil queen played by 𝙷𝚊𝚻𝚗𝚠𝚠. But she was not evil in the beginning. She was very charming and she had powers. That's how she charmed everyone in the kingdom as well. Eventually, the dad disappears as well, or dies, but Snow White doesn't know about that until later in the movie. So the evil queen now rules the kingdom and throws Snow White into the chambers, and she becomes a maid. And that's how we start the movie in present time. Rachel Ziegler starts to sing a new song, which I thought was really good. She has talent, she has a good voice. I didn't expect I would like any of the songs because I usually don't like musicals, but I thought this song was good. The only thing I have to say is that everything already looks bad. The costume designs, the scenery, everything looks awful. CGI everywhere. The palette of color kind of grayish, but fake grayish. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So it made the performance very forgettable. After she finished her song, she goes back into the castle and she sees someone stealing some potatoes, some food. It's this new character that we understand is the love interest, but it's not a prince. In this movie is a bandit or a thief. Anyway, she confronts him and he tells her, I mean, people are struggling, so mind your own business, basically. Because he doesn't know that she's Snow White. Everyone in the kingdom assumes that she died as well. But she doesn't say either that she's the princess. I don't understand why. And she seems very unaware that everyone is struggling in the kingdom. Anyway, he left, but he gets caught by one of the evil queen's guard and he's brought back to the castle, to the queen. But in that moment, Snow White was talking with the queen. So he realized that Snow White is the princess because she's confronting the evil queen and talking with her back and forth, and the evil queen is not doing really anything about it. One of these things was that the guards were asking her, the evil queen, what punishment should this guy get? So she says, yeah, kill him. Snow White is like, but queen, I mean, the punishment doesn't warrant the crimes he committed, so it has to be fair. And the evil queen is like, you're right.
Tie him up outside and let him freeze to death.
They do. They tie the guy outside, which was very confusing because after that, the evil queen goes to the mirror on the wall and asks the famous question, who's the fairest of them all? But in this movie, they're using this word in a different way than it was used in the original movie back in 1935. And back then, fairest meant beauty and more beautiful than anyone. I think the Green Brothers even had it written as beauty in the original book. But now in this movie, the question is less superficial and more about morality. So who's the fairest, who's the kindest, who's the best person of them all? Which is weird. Why would she ask that? She's
the evil queen.
And she is doing these things on purpose. She's making people suffer on purpose. Why would she be concerned about being perceived or being the best person or the more kind and fair person? Because there's nothing fair about killing a guy for some potatoes. Anyway, Snow White goes to the rescue and saves the prince bandit. So we go back to when the queen is asking this question to the mirror, and the mirror this time says that she's not the fairest, Snow White is, because she just saved a guy from freezing to death, and the mirror is telling the queen that. And that's when everything starts. So she asked one of her guards, can you take Snow White into the woods and her he's hesitant, and this is where I think you all have seen this scene everywhere because it became viral about how Gal Gadot's performance is really poor. She needs to sound threatening, so the guard does what she's asking him to do, but she does not sound threatening at all. It sounds funny.
It was Snow White who set the bandit free. She's plotting against... Tell me, are you against me too? Are you? Yes or no?
After that, he takes Snow White to the woods, and Snow White is really happy. She puts on her iconic dress, and I'm thinking to myself, when did she get that dress? Did she had it since she was young? Hasn't she outgrown the dress by now? Was she saving it for a special occasion? Is picking apples a special occasion? Anyway, the hunter is trying to her, and he doesn't do it. She runs into the woods, and that's how she finds the seven dwarfs cottage house. She goes in there and sleeps in one of their bed. In the meantime, the seven dwarfs are mining, singing, "Aya!" And that's when we get to see them. Their design was so scary because it was very realistic, but at the same time not. So very uncanny valley creature. I don't understand why they did this. The animals are also CGI, but they are cartoonish, cute, beautiful. And then the doors are like really realistic and ugly and scary. So why not stick to the more unrealistic side? Yeah, it was a terrible decision in my opinion. And also the animation looks really bad. These weird, creepy creatures come into their house and see that Snow White is there. They get scared and they're like spamming her with questions. And one of the questions was, "Can we be friends?" And I was thinking to myself, bitch, no. No, so creepy. Snow White is better than me because I would have been running away already. She's there with them. They are getting to know each other and they're having a good time singing a song. Meanwhile, the queen is asking the mirror again, who's the fairest of them all? And he's like, "Girl, I told you Snow White." And she's like, "Snow White is dead. I got her heart here." And the mirror is snitching. She is not dead. She's still alive. She's in the woods with some dwarves. She opens the chest and sees that there's no heart inside. Instead, there's an apple. And I'm like, you didn't check? You didn't check before asking the question? Okay, so she's mad and she tells all her soldiers to go after Snow White in the woods. And Snow White, after finishing her song and being friendly with these guys, she remembered that this bandit told her that he is fighting in the name of the king. So she wants to find him to fight against the evil queen in the name of the king, because that's her father. So she goes out into the woods and she finds him in less than 1 minute. That was conveniently fast. When they're together, I could not stop thinking about how old this guy looks in comparison to her. And I'm not saying that he looks like a 50 or 60-year-old, but he does look like there's a big age gap between the two. It doesn't look like they have much chemistry. And I know that in the original movie, the prince is almost non-existent. But I thought this movie was supposed to be different than the original. The only thing that they changed is that he has a little more screen time, but they don't really have a lot of chemistry together and they look off because of the age gap. He's 34 and she is 24. So there's a 10 years gap between the two. And it is very noticeable in my opinion. Anyway, he introduces her, his group of bandits. He's singing a song and all of that. And then the evil queen's guard finds them and they start chasing Snow White. And they are all fighting and running. And in between all of this, there's one sniper that is about to boom headshot Snow White. And the prince bandit sees that, so he shields her with his chest, takes the bullet for her.
That is
Not gonna be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
So they rush this guy in the 7 uncanny valley creatures, and one of them is a doctor. He's trying to save him, and he does. And everyone is pretty happy for 1 second. Everyone is calm, and Snow White falls in love with this guy.
She's not gonna be dreaming about true love.
In the meantime, the evil queen is asking again. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna do this myself. She uses this potion to become an old lady so she can give her the apple that is poisoned. I thought the design was pretty bad as well in this scene because the face looks very CGI and completely pale. But anyway, Snow White eats that apple and she drops on the ground, and everyone is like, oh no, Snow White, no. And at this point I'm very like thinking, how are they gonna do this part? How is she gonna be saved? Because in the original one, the prince kisses her. That's how she goes back to life. And it was very weird because she's unconscious and she cannot consent. And it's a random dude kissing her. He didn't know that that was going to save her. It's kind of weird, no? So how are they gonna approach that in this movie is what I'm thinking. And guess what happens? Yeah, after that she decides to confront the queen and goes back to the kingdom, and she puts on a Red Riding Hood costume for some reason, but she goes and everyone recognizes her, so everyone in the kingdom goes to the castle to confront her, but she still has her guards there on her side. So she's like, and when one of the guards is about to do that, Snow White is like, you are a farmer, and you are a baker, and you are a Hearthstone iron player. I know all of you. That convinces the guards and be on Snow White's side instead of the evil queen. The evil queen is now alone, so she runs into the castle to the mirror room and she asks the question again. Girl, the mirror is like, you will never be more fair. And she's not happy with the answer, so she breaks the mirror, but it's a magic mirror, so she gets sucked into the mirror. So that means that the evil queen is now living inside the mirror. I don't know. And after that, everyone is happy. Snow White is ruling the kingdom and everyone is so happy. Everyone is wearing white because I guess that's what happy people wear. They sing a song and the end. I got really disappointed that there was not much difference from the original movie. Kept most of the things that shouldn't have been kept. For example, that last kiss, because for what I saw that they did in the press, all the questions and all the things they were saying about the movie is that it was going to be different and all of this, but it's not much different really. The only difference is that it's 10 times worse than the original. The CGI is horrendous. I hated all the costumes. Everyone's costume looked like a theater play in high school or something like that. It looks cheap. I know a lot of people said that the evil queen's design was really nice, but I don't see it. I mean, I liked her makeup, but the rest, she was wearing some jewelry and it was looking awful. I didn't like it. And Gal Gadot's performance in this movie is wow. I don't know how she is that famous. This performance was really bad. She tries to play this evil and sexy woman that has this weird and deep voice. She looks like she's trying to do that. She's not doing it. And it's really awkward. I know it's Gal Gadot trying. I don't see the evil queen. I see Gal Gadot with a costume trying to be evil. And there was one song that she was singing in the movie and I thought that was the worst scene in the whole movie. When they sing, they have to dance. So she's moving and she's singing and she's doing it and you can't dance either. Her body language, everything looks awkward. I don't think she can be a better actor. She's been in the game for so long, and I'm sure she probably gets coached and everything, but there's no difference. I didn't really like Snow White because she is like a preschool teacher. She never says something human. She talks like ChatGPT, and I didn't like that. But again, that's how it was Snow White in the original. But I was expecting that they would do things differently and that she would have a little more character. Even when she's frightened by the evil queen dressed as an old lady, it's not really a big deal and is robotic. I could not connect with her, and I thought also her dress was really ugly. I don't know why they opted with that haircut. She looks like me when I had short hair and my edges were slightly wet. I also don't understand why she has like brownish hair instead of pitch black, because I think that would have made her look way better, because she is plain and boring and also has brown hair. It's like the ultimate boring combo. I will give this movie a 1 out of 5. I don't recommend watching this movie. I will not watch this movie again, and I hope I don't have nightmares tonight. I also think that this movie is not appealing for kids because of all the horrible designs. I don't know what the target audience is if it's not kids. Oh, I forgot to say that by the end of the movie, 𝙷𝚊𝚻𝚗𝚠𝚡 speaks. I thought that was so funny because his voice doesn't match his face, so I don't know what the point was of that.
I was acting.
Dopey?
Or was I?
If you like the video, please let me know in the comment section what other horrible movie you want me to watch. And see you next time. Bye!